This is very interesting. Lots going on in royal circles. Only one person to finish the show with. Ladies and gentlemen, on a bank holiday Monday, no doubt in tweed and a check shirt, Rupert Bell, good afternoon.
No, good afternoon. I'm not in my tweed. I'm not in a check shirt, but I am fresh from an afternoon's gardening.
You've been gardening. Mrs. Bell's got you doing that now. Put your foot down, Belly. What's the matter with you, man?
Oh, it's good therapy, gardening. Nothing like trimming your borders. Makes you feel very happy.
I'm so glad you said that. The borders. You've got such a large garden. I'm surprised. Does your man not do your borders, Belly?
Anyway, can we talk royal?
Absolutely, my friend. I didn't know this. Well, I did when I woke up, but I didn't know it for the week up to it. A year ago today, that coronation. What a hell of a lot has been rammed into that year for the royal family, my friend.
Yeah, good. And then obviously the last few months there's been quite a lot of bad for them to deal with, particularly for the king. And yeah. I think that's what's been deeply frustrating for him, because as he's been described recently as something like a caged lion, as he wants to get back to public-facing duties as quickly as possible. But he is, I think, can look back with a degree of satisfaction, because with polls coming out suggesting that he has maintained a level of popularity. Obviously, there is a sympathy element to it as well. But I think you've got to say that overall, it's been a very successful transition from his perspective, taking over from the longest-serving monarch we've had in this country. So
I think that's right, Billy, and I think that people, I mean, I've always been a massive fan, because I've always said to you, haven't I, that I think the problem is that if you spend your entire life knowing that the only job that you're born for will only happen when your mother dies, if you say anything, you're accused of interfering. If you say nothing, you're poncing off the society. But I feel like he's really connected with British people in the last 12 months, more so than ever. And I get what you're saying about the fact that he's been ill, and that will garner sympathy. But I feel like he's actually, yes, I just feel he's come down to the level, I don't know, I just feel that people perhaps feel they know him a bit more. And I thought his openness about cancer, a very different way of the monarchy going on, I think that's been really important as well, don't you, pal?
I think by doing it is showing that he is human. He's not stuck in an ivory tower. He's susceptible to any of the illnesses and things that we have, and been open about it. OK, we don't know exactly what form the cancer is taken, but he was very open, saying he was going in for a prostate procedure, and then that subsequently discovered some cancer. But he's been very open that the chemotherapy, we tend to know when he's almost having chemotherapy now, but he's going to have, I think, tomorrow, or Wednesday rather, it's going to be a busy day of investiture, garden party as well. So he is starting to sort of crank up the workload. I'm sure he's been very busy sort of in a private capacity, and that, I think, is tough for the Queen to manage, because he does want to sort of get on with everything. But I think overall it's been a good year since that coronation, and now it's obviously, we wish him well in terms of his recovery. We'll see lots more of him, which can only be good for him, and indeed his well-being, and making him feel better.
What do you make of, apparently Harry's coming, isn't he? I mean, she's going to Nigeria, he's coming to England. He and Harry apparently are going to meet up, which that'll be twice in 6 months. And Ryan said that's more than he meets people in his family in that time. So that's not bad, isn't it?
Well, we don't know for sure that he's meeting up. I mean, that's I think feels like it's the words coming from the other side rather than this side, because the King's diary on Wednesday is quite busy, so hopefully he will find time. I'm sure he would want to, but look, it's it's all about the diaries, and the King is a busy man. Even on Wednesday, he's got a pack full of events, so it won't be easy to engineer this meeting as Harry comes in for this Invictus ceremony at St Paul's Cathedral, and then I believe he goes straight to Nigeria, which is under the guise of sort of, they may want to stage Invictus, but clearly it feels like a quasi-royal visit in all but name. And, Nigeria and the security issue, it just puts into question some things that Harry and Meghan sometimes say. But there they go to Nigeria, and if they get Nigeria signed up to stage the Invictus Games, then that can only be a good thing.
Belly, one final thing, my friend. Really appreciate you coming on. Frogmore, saw some amazing pictures. I mean, right opposite my old house. Pictures today saying that Frogmore's falling down. There's terrible... unkempt and paint and all this sort of stuff, and that the king, pictured there again, might well be given the opportunity to finally throw his brother, the Duke of York, out, because apparently the Duke of York promised to spend something like 400 grand updating it, and it doesn't look like it has been updated. Just quickly on that, Belly.
Well, it's quite easy to find photographs of old buildings that may just need a coat of paint.
Yes,
so
true.
I might take that with a slight pinch of salt. It's an easy stick to beat him on, but there is obviously a question mark. Does he need to be living in such a big house, and could they do something else with it? I'm sure that is a discussion going on in the family. But for Prince Andrew, he does not want to leave, because that will be a further erosion of his status.
Can I just say it's always a pleasure. The green shirt was an unqualified success, and as the King's having a garden party, it's your ability to trim the borders so efficiently. Maybe head off to Buckingham Palace for a bit of gardening next, Belly. What do you reckon?
Oh, well, now, the one thing is the King is an extremely good gardener, so he may be teaching me how to trim my borders.
There's a thought. Thank you, Rupert Bell. You're a legend for coming on.